me?
Who was talking? Who was the person telling me about this?
Oh, that would be me. I'm Joel.
Joel, right, Joel, right? So I just wanted to sort of interrupt a little bit just to say that. So go ahead. You were talking about, about what you're doing, what you think that the community needs to be doing with it.
Well, when you did say that it's something new, and well, persons were actually saying a lot of weird things about it. That you're denying the plants of the sunlight and all of those things. When the true thing
Right.
about that is you're basically shielding the plants from so much sun, because as much as sun is
Yes.
needed for photosynthesis to happen, it still has
Right.
too much of one thing is not good, right? But
Exactly.
I also have someone. I have a contact with someone who deals within that area, and he
Mm-hmm.
provides greenhouses, and the structure that they provide, it contains the drip irrigation. They everything he does, it's basically
Right.
for the plants, but it's just that more one something that's going to be denying me the access to that, I guess it's going to be the persons. I really think that persons are not open to new things. I don't think that they see the benefits of it, because it's like
Yeah.
they would think that I'm trying to do something like fertilize plants and such, which it's not.
Yes.
It's very good products that I'm looking forward to do. And from
Yes.
from that, it's going to be based on getting the best out of each of the greens, vegetables, fruits, and everything that I'm going to be doing. But what I'm trying to do right now, is get the stuff started, as in just show them that, hey, this is something that I'm doing. This is something that's going to be, um, well, it's going to be better, because you don't have all of the the pests and all these things. It wouldn't be affecting the plants because of the greenhouses,
Right.
because they're sheltered in that area. And I think fencing will be a problem as well. But I'm
Yes.
working towards getting it done. But it's just that I have a bunch of ideas, and this is just a starting point that I need to start from, because as long as you have the fruits and vegetables at your disposal, you can be able to create fruit bowls and so much more things. But
Exactly.
that's basically that's basically where I am starting from.
Okay. Okay. So there are many things that happen, or many situations where you have a business idea, and one of the things that I tend to ask a lot of small businesses is what problem do you think that idea is solving, right? And Joel, you don't have to answer the question. It can also be any member, any one of the persons here who are listening on, right? What problem do you think that Joel's idea is solving? Anyone?
I can answer that if no one has the answer, by the way.
I know you can answer that. That's why I'm asking somebody else. Malia, Malia, are you there? Oh, I think we have. Okay, Joel, go ahead and answer, because I think somebody is trying to speak, but we're having some problems.
Okay, so as we know, in Guyana, I think in the world as a whole, we don't have enough food, and we are a growing population, and not only food is a problem, but healthy foods, especially now with the COVID pandemic and all these things. A
Right.
lot of persons are not getting that healthy food that they can be able to use and
Right.
have the nutrients needed to fight all of these different things that are happening. And no one knows what will happen in the future. And
Mhm.
knowing that you have healthy organic food that you can rely on is something
Yeah.
that's so important. And I think that that's one thing that I like about the COVID. I mean, it's an eye opener. A lot of persons
Mm.
basically are now looking for fresh fruits and vegetables, and they're like, hey, I don't want no fertilizer products. I don't want this. You know, they're very picky about what they're using right now. And
Yeah.
I think that one thing that I was trying to do is basically push that. I'm trying to get more healthy products, organic stuff into the world. So it's basically creating
Right.
food available for the country, internationally if needed as well. So it's basically that's the problem it's solving: food, providing
So
food for persons
providing healthy food.
correctly. Correct.
Lovely. I like that. Okay, so folks, sometimes as entrepreneurs or as people in business or even as trainers, there might be with all your good intent. So all day I have arranged for this session, and then we came to do it, and the internet went down, right? So I had to go back into what I was doing, to, lock off everything, shut down everything, and start again. Whilst we were doing that, I was able now to shift to Joel, or ask the question that engages the audience. So we are learning two things. We are learning about business ideas, but we are also learning about how to shift around sometimes when things don't go as you plan, right? So that is something that we cannot. This is when it comes to the internet, we cannot say it will always be the way it's supposed to, right? So thank you, Joel, for sharing.
You're
And
welcome.
and also, Joel, keep in mind, and the audience, keep in mind what Joel said about his business idea as we look at what Hamisi's experience was. So Hamisi worked for a gas stove importer for 5 years. But his aunt, who is a successful entrepreneur, has offered him some money to start his own business. But his aunt does not want to be involved in the everyday operations of the business, but she wants to get some profit, right? Which one of us would be so happy? I'm sure that Joel would be really happy to have an aunt like Hamisi, right?
Correct.
Exactly. So he enjoys making, it's called sisal bags and wall hangings, and his friends admires that. So he was thinking, as his aunt is giving him some money, maybe that's something he can do and sell to tourists. However, after he started talking to local shopkeepers, you remember, Joel, I was asking you, who did you speak to?
Yeah.
He learned that there are too few tourists to even make a profit from, right? To make that business profitable. So he's thinking again. Going too fast, right? Just a minute. I'm trying to shift it up so that we move as we go, but it's touching a lot of things. Okay. So he's also thinking again about another idea. Because he knows how to deal with gas stoves, right? And he knows how to purchase them because he worked in that business. He was thinking to get into that business. However, he realizes that he does the market research. You heard that, Joel? Market research, and others who are listening on. In trying, even if you have a business idea, it's always important to look around you and see what is happening. So he found out that there are other shops that are selling similar stoves, and they have discounts and promotional schemes, but they're not making much money. So it's a tough market. He's only going to know that if he starts asking questions and going around observing and researching, right? So that is how you deal with the environment, learning from the environment. While still thinking about this other idea he had, his aunt ask him to come and help her to move because she was moving house. So he had to rent a van. And whilst he's doing that, he asked his friends to help him in packaging. Then he realized something whilst he was doing that, that in his area, so whilst he was wrapping and packing all of these things, he realized that there is actually no moving company in his area. There's only one. And really and truly, folks, why I like this idea and like to bring it to you is because I also know that there's only one in Guyana. Right? Only one packing and moving company that packs your things, moves it, get boxes, put them there, go and take it, go and remove the items from the box and pack your house back away. Right? So he realized that there was only one business idea like that. So realizing that this might be a business idea, Hamisi does some research and then describes his business idea as follows. So here is his business idea that I want you to take a look at. And Joel, tell us whether you looked at your business in that way, right? And anyone else who has a business idea. He calls it my business idea, home/office packaging and moving service. He asked himself some questions. Which need will my business fulfill? What goods or services will I provide? To whom will I sell? So these things are things we keep in our minds very often. But if it's in our minds, but do we ever put it down? Do we ever write it down on paper to say, well, you know, this is exactly intentionally who I'm going to sell for, right? So you see, you could read it and see what he's answering. He's literally writing the questions and asking himself, how will I sell my services? Right? He's answering his own question. And how much will my business depend upon and impact the environment? So he's answering, my business will reuse the cartoons and packages several times so we can prevent waste, right? So Joel, is that how we went about doing the irrigation? The, not irrigation, sorry, the greenhouses?
Yes, I've already done that. No
Good.
one else in my area have that known person.
So you are the only person, right? So whilst that is happening, Hemisi is asking all of those questions. He is basically formulating this business idea. And this here is a sketch of some of the things, right? Oh, Eric is coming in now, right? These are some of the things that you want to think about when you have an idea. Your business idea, you want to learn from business owners. You want to draw from other person's experiences. You want to brainstorm, talk with your friends, with your family about the idea. You also want to scan the environment. Look around you. Look at the business environment. See what is happening there and survey your local business area. You know, how many people have greenhouses? How better are the greenhouses as opposed to, you know, growing without a greenhouse? And I noticed that somebody is talking in the chat. I will check it in a little bit once we get off here, right? Great. So these are some of the things that your business, you want to look at your business idea and decide how you will formulate that idea, right? Let's continue. Somebody is saying something?
No, Miss, never mind.
Okay. Can you advise Hamisi? We want to learn from successful business owners. So we want to know, what advice would you have given Hamisi? Anybody?
Pardon me?
Malia? What advice would you now, knowing what we know about Hamisi's idea for the packaging, what advice would you give to him?
Well, I think he should set a target, like who would be his customers.
Right. Who would be his customers? Who's speaking? Because I
Daniel.
can't see. Daniel, very good. Who will be his customers? You know that in the questions he asked, who will buy my products, right? So that will define who his customers. And I like that you said that we should really target, or he should really target who his customers are going to be. Now, I will be uploading a business idea analysis form. So let me stop sharing, and you just let me know how many people can get that from the chat. I'm going to upload it for you right now. Okay, Google Drive from my computer. Put it up to you. No problem, Eric. Welcome. I'm just putting up the internet seems to be really, really bad, and everything seems to, oh Lordy, that's not that. No, please don't, it's just doing things like it. I don't understand what's happening. This is not for you, huh? That's something else that just came on. Oh. Wow. Everything is just spinning, people. I'm so sorry about that. So basically, what the activity was asking you, and I'm going to try and put it up. Maybe Friday evening is not a very good time for us to have these sessions because everybody seems to be at home and maybe on their computers. So what I'm going to try and put it up for you, but what it's basically asking you is to think about 2 or 3 business ideas. And in the chat, if you can, those who can't speak can put it in the chat and tell me at least 2 business ideas that they are thinking about, and what kind of questions would you ask yourself in the in these sessions, in this in thinking about the business idea. What types of questions would you ask? Okay, Anthony, your business idea, and what kind of questions would you check, what kind of things you would be checking on in your environment? Yes, Anthony?
Okay, good evening, everybody. And
Good
could you hear
evening.
me?
Yes, very clearly.
Okay, well, first of all, the business idea that I would consider would be a pet care and pet supply store.
Yes,
Now, what you would need to look at basically would be the target audience. What age range would you
right,
be stopping at, and up to what will you be going to? Because there are a lot of pet owners, but not everybody will be able to be mobile enough to come to the pet supply store or to the pet care.
right,
So what would you be able to do in order to get them the sufficient service needed? Now you can also cater for a mobile one, where which you can go to the homes and you can also take your pets right in front of your faces. The next thing that you will need to look at would
exactly.
be, what is the problem that you're solving? You can't just open a business
Yes.
without first identifying what issue it will be solving. Now, there are many pet supply stores, but there be a pet grooming area or place in Guyana. Now, that is
Yes,
something that people can take into consideration, and I would believe that it will be successful enough to sustain the competitive nature of businesses that are currently rising in Guyana.
Okay, I finally got it there.
Yeah, so that would be it.
Okay, excellent. So you see, what does that show me, Anthony? That you are looking at the environment with the business environment. A lot of the times when we talk about environment, people always just feel it is just the physical environment. But businesses, the whole concept of business have an environment. What is happening around that is going to help you to know for a fact that this problem that you're solving is a right problem, is the right problem, right? Or this problem that you have found a solution for is a true indeed a problem and cannot be solved by anyone else, or it's being solved by someone else but in part. And so you can add value. Okay, folks. So I finally got the internet to work with me, and I've uploaded the how they call it there. I've uploaded the activity that we're going to be looking at. So if you just click on it and let me know if you're able to open it. Anybody is able to open it?
No.